And welcome back to a brand new episode with Sam Larson Studio, and today we're going to be going over how to draw turtles. Why are we talking about how to draw turtles? I had fun doing the alien designs, but now I want to change it up. Also because my niece said, hey, you should teach us how to draw turtles, and I thought that was a great idea. So, there's a couple different ways to draw a turtle. Obviously, it's going to depend on what kind of turtle you want to go for and everything, but the main basic shapes that we're going to be using are semicircles, and then of course like circle for the head, but most of this is going to be like semicircles that we stack together, and then rectangles for the feet. So the reason why I say semicircles, because obviously we could also draw a turtle just using a regular circle or an oval, but why do I say semicircles? It's because I want to use two different semicircles, and this will give us some options for how we want to change up the design. This is going to be our basic turtle design, right? Semicircle on top, but there's another semicircle on the bottom. That's why I'm saying we're using different semicircles. Okay, so this semicircle is going to be the big one for the shell, and it's not going to be a normal completed circle because the bottom part is going to come off of it, and we've got to show the turtle belly there. That's most of what you need to do. He's in his shell. We're done. So then we can take our little line right here, and we add a curve to it. This is going to be our neck, and we're going to add a circle on top of that, and that shows where his head is going to be. We need a little triangle down here for the tail, and we need to show some spots where, there we go, we're going to toss in a couple semicircles in here just to show where the legs are going to be coming out of, and that's where we use our rectangles, followed by semicircles for the toenails. Head can be facing whatever way we want to face. I'm going to have it so he is looking behind him. And we're going to have that lip do that little overlap for it, okay? So a little semicircle on top, give him that little overlap, and then make it so his head is going back into his shell. And then we're gonna make it so he's a sleepy little fella. We're gonna give a little line on top to indicate that he's a sleepy little fella. And you can also draw the turtle head as being a bigger head and have the neck a little bit skinnier, and I might do a second example real quick talking about that. And then we need to draw the pattern on his shell. Alright? So remember, this is about having fun and doing what makes it fun for you. We gotta draw a couple legs in the background for that. Show some toenails on there. You can draw whatever shapes you want to use for the shell. If you really want to change this up and show that this guy is a little bit of a star, why not put a star on his back to start this off, and then do the rest as hexagons. This turtle always wanted to be a star. And you can decide how big you want these hexagons to be. And you don't even need to do hexagons. This is just a super basic and quick way of drawing one version of a turtle. But you'll find that a lot of the principles are going to be similar. Alright. So what if we try drawing another turtle that maybe is walking or running on its hind legs? Alright? We're going to use a circle as the basic shape to start this one off. And we're going to have it so his head is super low, because why not? And then semicircle for the back. This is our super basic foundation for how we want to draw this. And this is a turtle who is trying to take up jogging, because that's kind of fun. Actually, we're going to stretch out this leg. Remember, we keep it super loose in the beginning, but if you look, I'm still using the same kind of shapes. And we're also going to make sure he has like a little sweatband on here. A little knee brace right there. Sweat brace on the wrist. I don't know what else those would be called. And we're not going to show the other arm. I think it's going to get a little bit awkward and cluttered in there. And then show the tail flying backwards because of the speed he's going. Super basic. Look at the basic shapes we've got going on. We're basically taking a rectangle and curving it around a line, right? So you draw the line and then we draw the rectangle shape around that line. And in this case, we taper the rectangle, right? So you can just do rectangle and try to keep it so it's an even width, but I like to do a little taper. It gives a little bit more character to it, right? So now we've got the nice spot for the turtle's arm to be, and we're going to add semicircle nails to it. Yeah, and then we're going to add a little sweatband to the knee, or in this case it was more like a knee brace, because that's also kind of funny to do for this. We're just going to do something like that. Just draw a couple shapes so that people know what it is. Now here's some spot where I made a mistake. We gotta talk about tangents at some point. I shouldn't have these little lines touching like that. That's just a future thing that we gotta talk about. I haven't gone into it as much because it's something we should watch for, but also like this is cartooning and we're still learning, and it's okay to do some of this stuff when you're still learning it. But that doesn't mean we should stick with doing that all the time. Alright, and now we've got this. And we're just kind of drawing shapes for the head because I put his head kind of awkwardly on the page. Then we want to show that he's a little bit tired out. He just wants a little bit of a break. And we're just drawing that little squiggly line for the mouth. And we're going to do a little headband on him. And we're going to draw the neck curving around and then combining right there. See that? And then we need to draw the shell. And we're going to draw some shapes on the shell. And the easiest way of doing this is you kind of make it so they're like hexagons, but you don't shoot to make them perfect. Otherwise, you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to make them all work properly. Of course, add your grass to it, and if we want to, we could add depth to it next time by doing some little lines to show where he's at on the page. Right now we can show a little bit of a shadow there, and now we've got a better idea of where he is. Here's some little pines, and that's it. That's how we can draw a turtle. Just combine some semicircles and you're basically there. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.